Okay, hello everybody. How's your Tuesday going? I hope everyone's doing well. Um, I'm Sakina, if you don't know me already. Today we're going to be talking about um, mental health and streaming. Today is actually World Suicide Prevention Day. This is a very important topic to me specifically because of my own mental health past, and I'm very proud to be able to talk about it because for years I couldn't. So it means a lot to me, and this is something that I really am very passionate about. And I'm really excited to have this amazing group of streamers here with me. I'm so excited. So we'll start from, I guess, we'll go this way, I guess. We'll start right down here. Introduce yourself, please, and tell us what you stream.
Hi, my name is Kylo, and I stream with my wife. We are Bard and Butter, and we have a very casual variety stream channel. We mostly stream RPGs. Right now, we are doing Mass Effect. I'm doing Mass Effect Legendary Edition. It's a blind playthrough, and she is almost done with her first on-stream Baldur's Gate playthrough. So that's a little bit about us.
Okay, next we have.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ash, or you can call me Sincerely Sunshine Cat. I'm also in the RPG games with all of the cozy things, but I am now in my Elden Ring era. So there's that. We did a complete 180, but we do have Palia and Elden Ring as our two main games. I do have to warn you, we do have a bunch of food all the time on stream. In case you stop by, don't be hungry. Bring some snacks.
Lovely. I love that. Next we have.
Hey gang, my name is Chloe. I go by Unlucky Clovers on Twitch. I recently started streaming, so the branding's a little hit and miss. And I promise I do not stream in vertical. Um, Aside, I usually stream a straight variety of things. We've been doing some Fallout London recently. We've also done some Palia on the channel. And like very recently, as of last week, we've started just doing a every day we swap out for a different game in the Steam Vault. So if you want just a lot of random, enticing excitement, stop on by sometime.
Yay, I love that. And next we have.
Hi guys, my name is Blaze, Blasian AC. I primarily like to play horror games, but I am a variety streamer. I like to play whatever I feel at that moment. Um, I mostly am really loud and I like to scream a lot, so like just a fair warning for everybody who does come to my channel. I'm an introvert mostly, but I like to do, I want to get into extroverted things, but I also love food, so sunshine, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, love that. Oh my god, yay. I forgot about me. Hi, I'm Sakina, or I go by Saki, because sometimes Sakina, they see the full name and people just like do this with it, and then I get called Zucchini, Sakina, Sakuna. Saki's good. um, I stream. I'm also a variety streamer. I stream all kinds of games. I've mostly been in my cozy era, so I've been streaming more Palia, Fields of Mystria, things like that. I do Fallout 4, a lot of Dead by Daylight, a lot of Legend of Zelda. Huge Zelda fan here. And when Tales of the Shire comes out, it will be my whole life. That's just a given. Just, in general. But yeah. So I'm going to ask a couple of questions. We're going to talk about, how we deal with, our mental health and how we cope with things while, also being streamers on a very big platform. So, again, we'll go, I guess, in this general direction. My first question is going to be, what are some ways mental health has impacted your life and your content? For me personally, I'll go first because I guess, for me personally, my mental health has made it kind of hard some days to get out of bed. So some days it's hard for me to create content, and there are days where I'm like, I'm gonna make a YouTube video, I'm gonna do it, and I struggle with being able to get myself out of bed to do it because I'm very depressed, and then my brain will tell me you're not good enough. So my mental health impacts me in a way that it makes it hard for me to believe in myself, and it makes it hard for me to go forward and continue and do things that, I should be able to do otherwise, without feeling, like I can't. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm not saying it right, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I can do it, but my brain is like, you can't. It's not gonna work. Don't even try. So that's one way that, like, it's been hard for me to create content, because I have tried. I have like three failed YouTube channels, where I was in a K-pop dance group, and then another where I was doing just random videos. I actually did finish like Amnesia: The Dark Descent on a channel with an old person that I used to talk to, and we were doing so good, and then my brain was like, no, no, and I ended up failing. So that's like kind of how it goes for me. So yeah, what about you, Kyla?
Yeah, so I've had like mental health struggles more or less since I was around 13, 14 years old. And for me, what's really been challenging has been the fusion of mental health struggles with chronic health struggles. I have long COVID syndrome, which really looks like um, MECFS, which is chronic fatigue syndrome. I have POTS, I have anemia, I have IBS. So I have all these conditions. And so the two of those together has created a new challenge for me. And it's all about for trying to find balance. And I feel like one of the best ways that I deal with that is leaning on my community, my team of streamers that I really get along with. Building a community of people that share that value, that understand the struggles of mental health, that understand the struggles of chronic health, and the ways that disability and neurodivergence intersect. Um, because I feel like when you can't give yourself that permission to rest or to show up as less than perfect, you do have these people in your life who will say, actually, you're perfect in imperfect ways. And if you need to rest, take a rest. If you need to stream for 2 hours, stream for 2 hours. And that has been a tremendous support for myself and my wife, not only here on Twitch, but that's extended over into just our greater life. So meeting people here, building a community that shares these values has made such a tremendous impact in our lives, not just as streamers and gamers, but also just as human beings. Thank you.
All right, and we're gonna go to next.
Hi. Streaming affecting, mental health affecting streaming. One. What was the other one?
Like how it
Life in
impacts
general.
your life and streaming. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. I can definitely relate to what you mentioned earlier, Saki, about your brain taking over. Even though the other half is already there and amped and psyched about this game or this piece, this photo shoot, this, I don't know, boba, any like object, anything. Like there's sources of inspiration for everyone, whatever that may be. But I completely get where there's the other half of the brain that's like, somebody else did it better. You might as well not post it. Or it's been done. Your way is not unique enough. You're late. Like I've tried to do things where it's a release of something or an update of something, but once it's 2 days past, I feel like I've already missed the boat. Even though that's perfectly fine to still post something, my brain does get in the way as well, where I think I've missed the boat, it's gone, and I have no more opportunity, and that I didn't do well enough to capture that initial spark. I've learned of myself that that's the thing that I have to take advantage of very quickly. Otherwise, all of those thoughts come into play. So that's for streaming and content creation in general. And then as far as taking care of that, um, what Kyla mentioned about community, I love being able to stream and coming to the Sunnies, which is what we call my community. It's the energy that I receive from all of you. But I know a lot of our community comes to the stream because they want sunshine from sunshine, which I do have a lot of most of the time. But I do give myself grace when it comes to the low spoons days. Multiple times I have canceled stream just because I know that either work took over my brain and it was a stressful day and I didn't want that to carry over to my community, or I'm just tired. I just tired. I need a break. So I am very open to doing things like that. Canceling stream or any pieces or projects and putting them on pause for a little bit just so that I know I can put the best me out there once my brain is ready.
Okay, now we have Chloe.
Yeah, I mean, I think so far everyone has been incredibly like succinct on what it means to be in a creative space and to also have intensely negative like self-talk or, any kind of thing that would weigh the body down to stop you from doing something that, everybody here loves to do. Am inherently a creator by trade. I went to school for it, I do it semi professionally. And recently I've transitioned to a freelance lifestyle, and that can be incredibly hard. You can tend to push yourself until you break. You have those low days, you have an empty drawer, and you just try to keep giving because the only person in charge of your schedule, in charge of what your output is you. And so when you have those, like, I'm not good enough imposter syndrome days where it's really heavy and it's hard to get out of bed, you still try to push on anyway, and that can be really, really difficult. So when it comes to like sitting down and editing a video, you can get so lost in it that you no longer like the work that you're working on. You can get so bogged down by all of those little details that you do never put it out because it has been done already or it has been done better. And I think honestly, what I love so much about Twitch in general is it can be so easy to connect with other people. I've gone through several periods of really intense dark spots, and those are usually accompanied by burrowing in a little hole and playing video games. So it's nice to have an outlet in which you can connect with other people who might be in a similar boat, who may not be, and just want to come and enjoy a game with you. And at the end of the day, all of that, the community building, the ease of access for some elements of Twitch, the fact that unfortunately right now I am using an old iPhone as a webcam, but it still works and you can still go and put as much or as little effort as you have into this space. And for me, that's been really healing and a really very healing aspect of my personal journey as a creative and somebody dealing with pretty poor mental health for a majority of my life. So yeah, obviously it can cause a little extra stress. You can start putting that pressure on yourself to meet your hours, to get on as often as possible, to, feel like you're not doing enough when people aren't showing up to stream. But just having the ability to come and sit down in front of a camera wherever I'm at and people meet me there is an incredible benefit, I think, of Twitch as a platform. Yeah.
Thank you. Please.
Oh my gosh. Like hearing from everybody, I can relate to pretty much everybody and how they feel. Like I'm in a spot right now currently where I kind of just succumb to my feelings and I haven't been streaming. I'm probably like the most inconsistent streamer. Um when it comes to mental health, I feel like if I can't, how do I put it? If I don't feel completely like myself, I don't want to push that onto stream. So usually what usually happens is like I would cancel stream for whatever amount of time until I feel is right. Like I feel more whole, I guess. But I pretty much do what everybody else does in that time, and that's like I just stay in my little hole. I don't really socialize. I need time because I feel like I get overstimulated talking to people when I get into these modes where I'm just like I don't feel good. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to talk to anybody. So I just it sounds terrible, but sometimes embracing that feeling helps me. I need to go through the motions to be able to go forward. Because if I ignore it, it becomes worse. And then I've been to a place where I used to stream and I would pretend I was okay, and then it gets to the point where I would blow up. And I don't want people to see that. So now I'm just like, I need to take time for myself so that I could be a better person for everybody else. But yeah, I think it is really, really hard to just communicate with people about mental health. I love that we're doing this right now. I love that we're able to talk about it. But it's like a lot of things, a lot of us have grown up doing these unhealthy habits that we had as a child, and we're like unlearning all those things right now. So, yeah, I'm really grateful that we're able to talk, just openly talk about stuff like this.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Oh my god, you guys are all gonna make me like cry. um, so my next question for you all is, what are some coping methods that you guys use? You know, kind of going into like, you know, when we're feeling, you know, our very, very dark days or dark weeks, months, years, whatever it may be, what is something that you use, like something that helps you, like a good coping mechanism that helps you get out of bed, helps you eat, helps you do things? I'm gonna do a little slight plug here, just a little slight plug. There's an app that I use. I also have ADHD, for those that don't know. And I don't, this is gonna sound silly, but I forget to pee sometimes, guys. I forget to drink. Like, I will be like, I have a headache, and then my husband's like, did you drink water? And I'm like, shut up. So, I mean, he's right. But so this app is called AlloBud. AlloBud is it's a mental health like self-care app. Right now they're working to get it to Android. It's on iPhone. And honestly, it's usually I have alarm fatigue and I'll ignore my like pills notification, like take your meds. I just swipe up. So I get that fatigue of alarm, just like whatever. But for me, honestly, usually I'm like, I don't care. But this comes up, like it'll say like hydrate, and it'll have like a cute little message, and it'll say, don't forget, you know, you got to take care of yourself. You got to drink some water today. And I'm just like, oh, that's so cute. And then I'm like, let me go drink some water. Like, it's silly and cute. And you can also add your own stuff here, like, oh, go eat. Don't forget to shower. Don't forget to like, you know, take a break today. Like simple things like that. And it's been, I know it sounds like I'm just plugging, but like honestly, I wouldn't plug it if it didn't help me. Like, it's been very helpful for me just to remember the basic necessities of life, of like just remembering to eat or use the bathroom. It's like, go pee. And I'm like, oh, that's why my stomach hurts. Hello. Because I'll just sit here and do something, or I'll be in bed rotting, you know, like just like this, and then my phone will be like ding, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I should probably get some water. It's been a while. So it's very nice to have something, you know, that keeps me grounded and keeps me like, okay, not let my brain win, you know, like keeps me, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but no, it's not coming. But basically, like it's nice to have something there that, you know, is a reminder to me, like, hey, it's not all bad, you know. I used to write a lot. I used to write short stories that help me, you know, help me get through, you know. Sometimes you have to, or just write your feelings. Like, I'll go in the notes section in my phone and I'll just write everything I'm feeling. If I'm feeling angry or sad, I write it all down. And then it feels like a, you know, like I feel like a relief because I got it out somehow without letting it sit there and fester in my chest. And I don't know about you guys, but that chest pain is real. That pain that you feel in your chest that they're like, oh, it's just in your head. No, that hurts. It's real. I promise you. So yeah, that's just something for me that I use. Yeah. I think that's all I wanted to say, really. We're gonna go to Kylo now.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for sharing that resource. I think it's really important that that we have as much access to resources as possible. Any given resource isn't going to work for everyone, for each of us, but I think having information and knowledge about as many possible resources is a really powerful tool to help the greater community of streamers that are struggling with executive dysfunction issues or mental health issues. For myself, I am a therapist, but also therapy is a huge way that I manage a lot of my mental health struggles. I get very overwhelmed. I'm an internal processor. but I also need to externalize that. So I do a lot of thinking within myself. I have like full conversations with people in my head. I play out a million different scenarios. And one of the best ways for me to work out that anxiety and work out those fears and those feelings of worthlessness is to process it externally. So I cannot plug therapy enough. I know that it's a tricky situation because it's not always something people have access to, but that's been a tremendous help for me. And then in terms of day-to-day life, I do a lot of creative endeavors. I do a lot of I used to do a lot of traditional art. Now I use a lot more digital art because it's easier for me. It's easier on my body. I also do some writing. I don't journal as much as I used to, but been doing more creative writing and poetry writing. I will just listen to music. I'm autistic, so I'm the person who can listen to the same song for like 14 hours straight. So I sometimes will just put on a music. In DBT or dialectical behavior therapy, there's this idea called opposite action. And it's like if you're feeling a certain way, do something that kind of provokes the opposite. So if you're really in a difficult, let's say, sad place, if you listen to music that's not necessarily happy, but that's a little bit more hopeful, that can help lift you out of it. So that's something I've used, since I was a teenager, for sure. And then to the point about the app and executive functioning, vulnerabilities are such a huge variable for me. So what I mean by that is like if I'm low on sleep, if I'm dehydrated, if I have not been fueling properly, if I'm in sensory overload because it's too hot, it's too cold, my clothes are itchy, it's too bright, I have to start there. So usually will stop and ask myself, like, what do I need to do with my body? Like, do I have to pee right now? Have I not eaten any protein in 24 hours? Something like that. Drink some water and then ask myself, okay, what's happening in my environment right now? What could I do to lower the stimulation? So those are sort of more immediate coping skills that I deal with in the day-to-day, hour-to-hour functions. And then to my earlier point, building a social network has been imperative, and becoming disabled after having COVID really shifted my social life because I live in New York City. So social life was always about going out to dinner, going to the theater, going to concerts and shows, going to street fairs, and I can't do any of that anymore. So I sort of accidentally stumbled into creating a whole new friend group by I just about a year ago I was like, I really want to start streaming. I love video games. Why not? And then meeting people online that I can socialize with online and do things like this where we don't have to be in person has opened up a lot of possibilities for me. So that has been a tremendous support in helping me feel connected to other people and also feel like I can show up authentically as myself. I don't have to hide my disabilities. I don't have to hide my autism. So yeah, that's sort of a rundown of my strategies.
Thank you for sharing that.
Hi. Am I going next?
Sorry, I thought I said it. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. um, Kylo, thank you for just going through all of that because I was like, that's me. I do that too. I do that and that too and that too. So just hearing someone else have a lot of the similar tendencies that I have is very, very like I'm not the only one. So thanks for being here and existing. Um, coping mechanisms. I think that was it. Short term memory is not good. But as far as I do for coping mechanisms for mental health, gym is my big go to. If I'm having a good day, it makes me amped to go to the gym and work out. If I'm having a bad day, it makes me amped to like make up for the badness of the day to make it better with the workout. And then if I'm mad, then it's even better because then I work out and then I hit my PRs, which is your personal records for things, just because I don't know, it just works out that way. So the gym has been my savior for a really long time, off and on, but very much so in the last couple of years. So that is one of my big things. Also, I don't know if anyone else knows their five love languages, but my top two are quality time and acts of service. So quality time for me with my fiance and especially my dogs too, and all together just like perfect thing to just help me get my mind off of whatever is bogging it down. So gym, Gym and those that I love the most, also food, but I also know there's a thing where you're not supposed to like just go find comfort in like 5 tubs of ice cream. So I guess find other ways, but I like food a lot. I like food a lot, a lot, a lot. So I know one thing where I think Saki, you're mentioning about reminding yourself to eat. A big depression period that I had a long, long time ago. My friends actually called me out for not eating enough, and they noticed me losing a ton of weight, which was super unhealthy. Um, but calling on that and learning from that, knowing when I'm in a low mood and noticing when I'm not eating constantly or as much throughout the day, I know there's something um going awry up there, even though I don't feel it yet. It's like one of the symptoms that I have. So knowing what to look out for myself, it just sets me up better, I think. And it makes me more resilient when I do have to find those coping mechanisms that work for me. At least I know that I'm preparing for it, if that makes sense, for the storm. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Next we have Chloe. Sorry, I thought I turned off all my alerts. Sorry about that like loud noise there.
All right, that means it's my turn. Yeah, so I am starting therapy tomorrow. Let's hear it for therapy. Woo. Yeah, it is sometimes very inaccessible. For a very long time, I wanted to seek more professional help, and that just was not an option for me. So you do start to learn a lot of your own personal coping mechanisms. I'm glad music was brought up. I'm a big put one song on loop and listen to that for approximately 10 hours until I feel something. Um, but a big one for me is go outside and touch grass, boys. Let's get some sun on that face. Like I find that when I am at my lowest, what I want to do is stay in my little hobbit hole. I want to stay near everything that is comfortable. I wish I was a gym girly, like props that your body wants to get up and do things or you can push through that mental block. But me personally, I'm very much a sit down, weep, say nothing to no one, and deal with it that way, which is usually not a very healthy place to put yourself in. So just even like going outside, sitting on my steps, really just getting some air on my face is a huge step to just dealing with that. I said it earlier in chat, if I had a nickel for every time I told someone to journal, we wouldn't need to fundraise. I tell everyone I know that the best way to sort through your own thoughts is to get it down on paper. You can do as much thinking as you want in your head, because I am 100% also a very internal processor. But the second that you start framing that on a page, that you can look back on it, that you can sort of like see it in a moment when you're outside of that headspace, is a huge way to sort of like sort through those emotions, not just when you're going through it, but looking for those warning signs in future, finding ways to comfort yourself, finding little things that you aren't doing, like drinking water or going to the bathroom, and setting helpful reminders, finding apps that work with you. And honestly, the second biggest thing for me is the first time I realized I was going through a really, really low point. I did not have a very caring support system. So, this isn't an option for everyone all the time, but making sure you're connected to the people in your life. My husband is my number one pillar, and, he has a lot of mental health stuff going on, cooking as well. Which one can mean that we connect on that level, but also can mean that sometimes we get in the way of helping each other. But having someone that can catch when you're not eating, having someone that can tell you that, you haven't showered in a couple of days and maybe you might feel a little bit better if you did. Those are all things that, if you can't keep track of that yourself, having someone that you can talk to that is going to not feel awkward or affronted by having to tell you to take care of yourself in a very caring way is hugely helpful. So, you know, and I know that's not an option for everyone either. I know like community is not always there for you the way that you need it to be, but making sure that you try to, when you can, when you have a clear head, reach out and connect with your friends who you think might be going through similar things only deepens those connections when you're going through it. So yeah, hopefully therapy tomorrow, we learn a couple more good coping mechanisms and we can report back.
First off, I'm really, really proud of you for going to therapy, and I'm really happy that you're able to go. I love that for you. And next we have Blaze. Thank you for sharing.
Pretty much. Gosh, I'm trying to like internalize everything, but I'm really bad at sorting and coping, but I know my go-to is probably to unplug from the internet, just electronics in general, get out the house like Clover's mentioned. Like it's really good to touch grass. Most of the time when I go out, it's either go get some food. Go get some food. Go treat yourself. Go get something to eat. Self-care, maybe treat yourself to a pedicure if you're able to. Working out helps a lot, especially if you're going through something and you can't really like I haven't really been a person to journal, but when I have a physical outlet, it helps a lot. So working out is really a really good outlet for me too. Um I also have a husband who is going through his own mental health. So sometimes it's hard for us to be able to help each other, but it is nice to have that partner that you could be like, yeah, we're going through it, but we're going through it together. Um yeah. It's I can relate to everybody in the circle. Like a little bit there's a piece of what everybody said that I pretty much do. But my biggest thing is definitely unplugging from the internet because the internet sometimes kind of makes you feel worse. That makes sense. So I will take a couple of days away from being on my computer, on my phone. I'll just cut that off and just go out. But yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That's lovely. I love all hearing all your guys' like coping mechanisms because mine is like it's hearing each other's. It's really helpful to me because like there are things that you guys do that I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that. Like so it's just it's so sweet, and I really do appreciate you guys. I just want to take a second to say I appreciate all of you guys just being here and sharing all this so openly with everyone. It means like the world to me. Before I get emotional, next question. This one's more of like a generalized question, but like, how can you guys, as you know, streamers, how can you guys raise more awareness for mental health within your communities? For me, obviously, I'm doing streams like this. I also like to talk about my own struggles openly. I talk about the things that have happened to me, or if I'm just having a really bad mental health day, I talk about, you know, I have links to resources for people who are feeling you know, what I'm feeling or what I have felt. I like to I don't like to I don't want to push or trigger anyone, so I'm kind of like very, you know, I try to keep it as what's the word, I just try to keep it as, you know, gentle as possible when I'm talking about it on stream. But if someone wants to have like an open conversation later, I'm very open to discussing it with anyone, you know, because I know I've been in a very dark place. I myself have, trigger warning, have had a suicide attempt. So I understand it, and I want to be there for anyone that, you know, is feeling like there's no hope, you know? So I have the resources, I have, you know, I talk about it very, very openly on the stream. I talk about, you know, things that you can do. You know, it's something very, very important to me. So yeah. Now we'll pass it over to Kyla.
Yeah, what a great question. I think that there's sort of like a meta version of this and then a more intimate personal approach to this. I think on the larger meta scale, a lot of what you're talking about, which is like providing resources, doing events like this, it's so important, right? Because the more we're exposed to these things, the more we can resonate with them. So hearing from even, the five of us, we're going to have five very different experiences. But there's still so much crossover. So as each of us are speaking, there's resonance across the board in these people with different backgrounds and different stories. And so I think like for people being able to see streamers or other streamers talk about these things in ways that are relatable, that kind of opens the door to like, oh, maybe this isn't so scary for me to start talking about, for me to think about in my own life. I think also being forthcoming about our own struggles is very powerful. To your point, Saki, you do have to be cautious, right? Because you don't want to trigger yourself, and you want to hold kind of the boundary of what's private. But for me, I'm incredibly forthcoming about um, a lot of what's going on with me in terms of my mental health and my psychology, and my wife is as well. It's kind of the nature of our channel is that we're very open about the struggles that we're having, and how they transfer over into different elements of our lives. I do feel like I'm uniquely positioned to do that, to hold space for viewers, to talk about heavier topics because I am a therapist by trade. I obviously do not practice on Twitch. This is for fun. But I'm very used to sitting with difficult topics. So I try to create a space where people can come in and they don't feel like they have to say, um, I kind of call it like the LOL, which is like when someone will come in and say like, and I'm like, oh, how are you today? And they say something really terrible that happened, and then they're like, LOL, because they don't know how to share that in a way that's like, actually, this is really terrible. And I still want to be here, and I still want to hang out with my friends, but also this terrible thing happened. And trying to just like pause for even just a millisecond to be like, do you want to talk about that more? Or please know that we're here with you and we see you and we acknowledge you. And, if there's anything that we can do, we want to be able to do that. So I think making space, holding space for those kinds of things, and being as informative as you can about these issues in a way that's not crossing boundaries, I guess, which is different for everyone, right? So that can be a tricky place to find. But I think there's a little bit of an art to it. You have to really kind of feel the vibe of your audience and know your audience a little bit about, kind of what can they tolerate, what can they not tolerate. But I remember reading that in marketing, you have to be exposed to something 7 times before it like really kind of solidifies. And so I think the more people are hearing these kinds of conversations, and the more that we're talking about like, what does it look like to be mentally ill? What does a relapse look like? What does a flare up look like? What do coping skills look like? These are the types of things where the more people are exposed to them, it's going to start to really stick. And then it's not going to be as scary to talk about. Shame dies in the light, right? It cannot survive. So the more that we are shining light on the places where we hold shame, the more challenging it is for that shame to thrive. And so if we spread that light across the space, right? Like that is a way to dissipate so much of the shame and loneliness that we feel in our mental health struggles, and that other people are feeling that they don't even know we're also feeling that way, right? So it's like this joint effort to say like, I feel so alone. I'm going to talk about this. You're not alone. Wait, I'm not alone either then. Wait, we all are experiencing this in one way or another. And then it really depathologizes it, right? And it makes it less about I'm broken. There's something wrong with me. Why can't I get my shit together? Why can't I stream? I said I was going to stream these 3 days and I just never show up. And I said I was going to create this video and I didn't. Into this, it distills it down to I'm a human being, right? Like, I'm going to give it my all, but in the end, I'm a human being. And so I'm allowed to crash. I'm allowed to take weeks off. I'm allowed to be late, right? These types of things. So yeah, I think it's all about sharing that experience and shining light.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Ash, your turn.
So incorporating this topic into our streams. Um, I know I do have something that I do in our streams for a channel point redemption, which are our cards. I usually have a deck of cards that is very encouraging as far as on the mental health topic. We had our first deck of cards was Cats Against Anxiety. So the community, if they weren't feeling up to par, or just wanted a little boost of encouragement, they could redeem that channel point. And then at this point, I think we're like 6 decks of cards in. This current deck we have is the You Are Awesome card deck, and that was purchased by one of our community members on Throne. So to see it evolve from something that I thought of as something that I got a gift of and decided to put it into the stream, and then now having the community basically like fulfill like the continuation of the new decks of cards coming into stream is very nice. Um, Also, Saki, I don't know if you have the hotline, but if I don't know if anyone has like exclamation mark hotline, but I think that would be an awesome um thing that's not a trigger word entirely, but something a little more subtle in case there is anything that we have. I like your exclamation mark MH. But something like that I think would be awesome just so that it's there in case we all need it for our community. And then also with speaking about things openly, I know I don't really dive super deep into mental health topics. Um, but sometimes I do, and it's spur of the moment and it's very once in a while, but I feel like those are the most um how would you say, like, it helps people get used to talking about things like that because that's actually the times that chat is very chatty when everyone's like, "Oh, they're struggling like me." And realizing that that's something that more people are willing to chat about than I thought is very comforting to know, but also it's great to have those every now and then whenever you are ready. I know we all mentioned boundaries here and there throughout this discussion. So boundaries definitely just because we are in such a public platform that you can't take anything back these days. So I think being able to know what yours are and developing and creating and growing a community that respects that as well is something to think of. But yeah, that's all I have for this.
Thank you for sharing, Chloe.
Oh, I believe the
Did we
talking
lose you?
stick is
There you are.
there you go. Yeah, sorry, I'm having issues. Um, which for this stream, hey, we'll take it easy. Um, but yeah, so I don't have a huge community yet. Still very, very small, still in early days, but I like to take moments where, like, yeah, channel points are a really easy way to connect with your community in any way. And I use the hydrate one, which I know a lot of streamers do, but instead of just like somebody tosses it in and I take a sip of water, someone tosses that in and we hydrate or dihydrate together, lads. It's everybody or nobody. So taking those moments, like eating on stream. I used to be very, very self-conscious about eating, but I know that for some people, just having that physical reminder that like you need to nourish yourself is really important. So, like feeling free to do things that we are uncomfortable with, feeling free that to do things that are emulating better behaviors for other people. But not only better behaviors, but like we said, sharing our own personal experiences is super powerful and super big for other people and knowing that they are not alone. So as a femme presenting person, Saki and I have talked about this previously, it can feel really like high pressure to come onto stream looking your best, feeling your best, emanating sort of like you know, your female presence in order to gather more of a following, but taking those days where you don't feel like that, where, you know, again, like maybe you haven't showered, maybe you can't change out of your pajamas, but you still hop on stream if you can. You know, granted, if you're not in the right headspace, don't stream. That's not good for anybody. But if you can, and you're feeling okay and you're feeling up to talking to people, even just being visible in a state that some would say is not socially okay, can make people feel very, very comfortable and can make people feel better about the days when they themselves cannot care for themselves in the way that they feel that they have to. And it's sort of like that bridging that gap and bonding with people in a very, very vulnerable way. And still trying to maintain those boundaries, saying, like, if I need to log off, I log off, saying, you know, if I'm having that bad of a day, I have to just bail. And, you know, having those conversations with your community, saying, like, I suffer from panic attacks personally. So if I feel a panic attack on setting, having the brain space and ability to just say, like, hey gang, I'm gonna have to log out very, very soon because I just can't be here right now anymore. And if you are going through something similar, feel free to talk about it, you know, in chat. Feel free to talk about it with your network, which, you know, as a community, we are parts of people's network. We are, you know, whether we feel okay letting them in or not, they've let us in to some extent. So allowing for that sort of like cross is, you know, just a real simple way that we are impacting other people just by being out loud and present and able to talk about things like mental illness on a public platform. I hope that made sense. I feel like I got a little rambly there at the end, but I'll take it.
You did good. Thank you, Chloe. Blaze?
So the question was how to raise more awareness for mental health as a streamer, right?
Within your
Um,
community,
within the community.
like,
I
how do you
think
do that?
what we're doing right now is a great example. This open dialogue definitely helps. Um, what I haven't really thought of before, which now thank you guys, is having that inclusion, whether it's like hydrate, we hydrate together, that kind of thing, or having that command for mental health. I firmly believe that you have to have boundaries on certain things. So if you're not okay to talk about it, you shouldn't. But it's also powerful in being able to be like, I'm not okay, but I just want to be here with you guys. Like, just being open about certain things. Like, you don't have to dive into everything, but just being able to be like, I just want to express that I'm not feeling good right now, but I just wanted to spend time with you guys. Like, being able to have that openness with your community, because close, right? They they come and they're open with us to an extent, so we should be able to do the same as well. Like, we don't have to be super strong, happy go lucky all the time. Like, it's not always going to be like that. So showing that some days I'm not good, I'm in my PJs and my hair is a mess, but I just wanted to play games and I'm here and I just want to talk to you guys. That is a great example. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Blaze. Okay, guys, I only have like 2 more questions, I promise, and I'll let you go. My next question is kind of like in line with what I just said, but like, so like, say, like, as a question for anyone that's also a streamer in like the audience, if there was like something that happened like while you were streaming, how would you as a streamer handle it, like a mental health event? Like, I've had a panic attack before on stream, me personally, and I have really horrible anxiety, and I don't always have access to my medication. So I will, if there are times where I'm just like this, there has been a time that that's happened, and I ended up either I will take like an ad break, and I will go and I will try to calm myself, or if that doesn't work, what I would do is I would say, hey guys, I gotta go. I can't I can't maintain this like right now because I can't function, you know? So I do it in like a very, you know, try to do it in a very calm manner, even if on the inside I'm feeling like, you know, like, but I try to do it in a very calm manner where I'm just like, all right, let me just go. Because, you know, or something happens, you get a call that is like a very horrible thing, and you're like, okay, like I maintain my composure as much as I can, and then I gently end my stream, and that's how I kind of deal with things. But for you guys, if you know, there's a traumatic event or something happens while you're streaming, whether it be an attack, an anxiety attack, or something, you get a call that something's wrong, how do you guys go about that? Kyla?
Yeah, so I think my initial immediate reaction was like mod team, right? Like even though we are a small channel, the mods that we have on our channel are like the backbone. They're everything. And so in the couple of times when there has been an incident where either something has happened, I remember like one time NYPD was at our door for whatever reason, which is just scary on its own. And then another time I was doing a fundraiser and we were doing like community games, and we had this very violently homophobic thing happen in the community game. But my mod team was on it so fast, and I know that I can instantly like open up a whisper or go to mod chat in Discord or open DMs in Discord and like communicate with them while I'm streaming. But also they're really good at reading me, so I feel like they'll say like, "Kylo, do you need to just take a break right now?" And then like my brain will kick online and be like, "Okay, yes, there I can problem solve. I don't have to freeze and panic and be like, what do I do?" So that is like an invaluable resource. I trust them with my life, so they're incredibly helpful. And then also I think just being really authentic. There's obviously going to be a line here with how much each of us are willing and wanting to share with our communities, but I think there's so much value to the points that I think especially Chloe and Blaze made, like showing up even in these ways that we may not want to because maybe we're in our pajamas and maybe we haven't showered in 6 days. That's so powerful, right? And just showing up and owning that and being like, this is how I am right now, this is real. My experience has been that my community actually responds incredibly positively to that. And their response is not one of like, why did you stream then? Or what's wrong with you? But it's very much of like, we just want to be here with you. Like, we just want to spend time with you. We care about you. A lot of checking in, and then a lot of sharing their own stories of like, oh my gosh, yeah, like I have this thing that I've been procrastinating for like 3 weeks, and if I don't take care of it by tomorrow, like this terrible thing is going to happen. And then it turns into like kind of a support fest where it's like, okay, we're all kind of dealing with different things. And I know for myself, when I go into a stream, any space that's sort of toxically, aggressively, or compulsively positive feels like it's not for me. I feel things deeply with every cell of my being. I feel them intensely at the height of my register of emotions. And so I'm very impacted by things big and small. And I feel very uncomfortable when there's an expectation that I should always mask and perform the role of like happy or contented human being. It makes me incredibly anxious. So finding people that are comfortable with that, I think is really, really important. And so the kind of community that you draw in is very much a reflection of what you're putting out. So, you know, we're not like that. We're not toxically positive. We don't have a no politics rule. We know that politics is a part of our identities and a part of everyone's daily life. We talk about difficult topics. And then also we just kind of give a lot of space to be imperfect. And I don't think that approach is going to work for someone who wants to like make a 6-figure income off of content creation or really wants to be like a huge streamer. But I do think that if you're talking about streaming in a way that protects your mental health, I think really fostering a community that when you show up as your authentic self, even if that authentic self is someone who's in the throes of mental illness, they still show up for you and they're still kind to you. Like that goes such a long way. in, I mean, A, allowing me to show up even when things are pretty shitty, and then B, showing up and being reminded that, like, I'm not alone, and also these people love me even when I show up like this. Even when I'm low energy, low spoons, and I haven't changed my shirt in 3 days, they still love me. And so those are kind of the biggest things for me. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, Ash, your turn.
I can't remember very many um mental health episodes that I've had on stream. Usually because if I'm in one of them, I just don't stream. Um, I know that when I get to those points, I'm easily going to break at any point. So props to all of you that hit go live on in that mindset, knowing that your community is there to like lift you up as well and to be there for you. I usually tend to avoid that part for me just because I know um myself, and when it's going down, it's going to go down really fast. So I try to take the live space away from that. Um Other things though that have happened before in our chat are just things that people say, um, or people say or intend to say something bad to somebody else, whether it's joking or not. I i am like a very fast deleter. I don't know if anyone else is like that. Usually just because I just process things very fast, and I'm instantly, my hand is just goes there and it's gone. And then my way to deal with that is to basically don't give any energy to it. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I feel like the sources of energy suck, whether it's that comment or this comment or that comment. For me, my way is just smush it out of here. Does not exist in the chat. And I hope that nobody else processed that as fast as I did. And then I continue on, because I feel like if I let my brain go into that space, then I've been hooked. Like, they threw out the hook with the worm on there in the ocean. And if I bite onto it or give it attention, then that's what was wanted out of it. So that's my mechanism of instances on stream, whether it's me or it's peeps.
Ooh, almost spilled my drink. Thank you for sharing. Chloe.
Look, your girl's going through it. Um, and I'm going through it quite often, so usually that coincides with the stream whether I want it to or not. And I think so far it's been phrased really, really well here, just in that, like, creating and cultivating a community that is there for you when you are going through those things, that can support you or allow you that space. Also, I don't know if I'm connected. We should be fine. Um, Regardless, that is incredibly powerful. But also, Imperfectly M said it at some point in chat that the BRB screen is your best friend. You don't have to have all of those emotions directly out on camera. Just saying, like, I need 5, and removing yourself and going and, like, putting a cold washcloth on your face and doing breathing exercises can really take you back from wherever you were and put you back in your body and prepared to get back online, to talk to people, to find that support for yourself. Because also in that moment, again, with boundaries and everything considered, you may still need to know that people are there for you. And sometimes just getting back up and rolling with it and sitting with the people in your community who can talk to you wherever you're at is incredibly helpful. I also use the good old fashioned, I need to go to the bathroom. That'll take however long it takes. We'll get back if we get back. And if I get back and I go, sorry, gang, I have to go, no further explanation is necessary. And I think that is a huge part of letting yourself be a person online, is allowing yourself to be a person. And if you don't have the mental capacity to explain yourself, if you don't have the ability to sit down and say like, hey, this is what's happening and why, just being able to bail, to say like, I will see you guys when I see you, and if you're not here for that, then this is not the right type of stream for you, and I'm very sorry that I've lost you, but I don't think I need that kind of person in my space anyway. So yeah, I think it's a mix of cultivating your community. I think it's a mix of protecting yourself, your space, your mental at all costs. And at the end of the day, we are 100% all human beings. And I think if we fall down, most people will understand, and the good ones will help you get back up. So yeah, I mean, the BRB screen is my number one, but then the rest of that falls in somewhere.
Thank you for sharing, Chloe. Blaze.
I think I'm gonna bounce off of pretty much everybody and what they said. Given to the point that Sunshine Cat mentioned about not giving and feeding into other people's energies, because some people will come in to troll you, or like back, I forgot this even happened until Sunshine said something, but way back when the bots were happening, or like the hate bots, where they were just coming in and putting out the, the word. um the first time I ever encountered that, it was the first time I've ever dealt with something like that. So my first reaction was just, I froze in place. I didn't know how to deal with it. I was just like stunned. Thank God for my stream team partner Zeus. He was there, so he was there to help me manage. But I also had moderators who took care of stuff. So moderators are the backbone of your community. They know what's going on with you and they take care of you. So thank you to everybody who is a mod in anybody's channel. Like, you guys are amazing. But yeah, after that first incident, I learned that that's exactly what they wanted from me. They wanted me to have some kind of reaction. They got that out of me. And I was so upset over the fact that they won. But I will never allow anybody to win. So, don't give them the reaction that they want. Um, and going back to, something happens during your stream, mental health wise, and you feel like you need to take care of it, whether it's take a break, be right back screen, um, take your break. I have IBS, and I am very open about that, maybe a little bit too much, to the point where, like, guys, I gotta go poop. I gotta go. And I'll put my be right back screen, and I'll take my break. But like, it's important for you to just do what you need to do so that you're okay, whether it's taking a break, walking away, or if you need to end the stream because you're not in the right mental space for it anymore. But Bard saying, um being unapologetically yourself is 100%. Like, if you're not okay, just convey that. You don't have to go into depth about what's going on with you. You could just be like, I'm not in the right space right now. Maybe my stomach hurts. I gotta poop. I don't know. But like, I can't do it anymore. But just communicate it, or just take a break.
Thank you for sharing that, Blaze. Wow, you guys are like, I'm taking mental notes, and I'm also going to be fully saving this VOD for anyone that wants to hear all of this information. This has been really, really eye-opening for me, and also kind of in a way therapeutic and healing a little bit, because hearing all you guys talk about your experiences and your stories, like, it helps me in a way too, because it just means, like, we're all kind of collectively going through it, but we're going through it together. Like, we're a community, we're doing it together, we're not alone. And that's the whole point of this, is that to show people that you are not alone, even when you feel at your lowest, and that you are, like, there's no one there. Even when you feel that way, you're not, and This is just something that um, I'm gonna get all like turned around here. Sorry. It means a lot to me. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, because I like to cultivate that open community and lifestyle. Just like 2 days ago, I checked myself into a facility to refill my meds and to see someone because I had a breakdown at during my shift. For those of you that don't know, I work in a hospital and I work with patients, and sometimes I get like SI patients, and it's triggering for me because I'm like, I was there and I feel that. Um, and I had a breakdown and I ended up going in to get some help because I realize I'm also, I don't know who else here is, if you guys take antidepressants. I'm very bad with keeping up with mine. I struggle. Again, that alarm fatigue, like I get off my phone. So it's very heartwarming to see so many people who deal with some of the same things that I deal with. I also have a bunch of chronic pain and chronic fatigue, and the pain thing, Kylo, I relate to so much because, oops, sorry, I swear I turned those off. Um, I've been dealing with the pain, and sometimes you just have doctors who are just, you have to advocate for yourself basically, because sometimes they will just be like, well, it's not this, so and then you're just kind of there like in pain, and you know your body best, you know what I mean? So dealing with chronic pain and chronic fatigue, and then dealing with like mental stresses and traumatic events back to back to back, kind of made me boil over a little. And I'm just gonna say I'm proud of myself for going and getting that help, because it's very hard. The scrutiny you get, especially as a parent, dealing with mental health, people are not always going to be as sympathetic to you because they're saying, you're a mom, you need to think about being a mom. Why are you even, you know, being that way? And it's like, it's very hard to explain to them like that it's a literal chemical imbalance in your brain. They don't see that. They see, just get over it. And a lot of times, I will say, especially in the Black community, growing up for me, I know it's always been a get over it, deal with it, keep going. We don't want to hear that. Go, move, go. We don't care. Deal with it. We've all been through things. Get over it. I've heard that so much growing up, like throughout my entire life, that it just kind of like it did something to me, like where I was like, you know what, I need to stop complaining because everyone else has problems. But then that kind of ruined me in a way, because I started thinking like, you know what, my problems don't matter. I don't matter. Nothing I feel matters, because everyone has problems, so who cares? And it's I'm getting all shaky. It's hard to talk about sometimes, but I'm happy to talk about it. Oops, sorry. Oh my god, help. Basically, I'm
You're
trying
doing
not to
great.
cry. Thank you,
You're doing
because
great.
I'm like
It's
trying
okay
not to
if you
cry.
cry. No, I think it's actually it's totally okay to cry. It's a nervous system regulation thing, right? So if you're feeling very anxious and this is a difficult and activating conversation for you, crying is your body's way of saying, why don't we try to regulate? So I don't know
Yeah.
if it would be helpful for us all to maybe take a deep breath. But I personally think you're doing a beautiful job. Thank you for sharing that with us.
I agree.
I wasn't
Yeah.
going to say anything because I just wanted to come on stream and just be like, we're going to talk about this. But it felt real. It feels real for me to be. I like to be real, and be open and be honest. And this just happened like 2 days ago, a day ago. And I'm like, I can't just come on stream and be like, la la la, like. So, I mean,
But I'm also proud of you for like even being like, well, I have a lot going on, so I need to take care of myself. That is a lot.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
very powerful. And I think that's really important to share, like show that even towards your kids, like I'm not okay, like that vulnerability, to show them that if you're not okay, you can express that. Because I don't know if some of you guys grew up this way, but I came from an upbringing where it was like, if I cry, it's like, fix your face. like, you know,
Yeah. Like, I'll
and
give you
it's
something to
Oh
cry
my god.
about.
Exactly.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god. Yeah,
yeah.
that one.
So
That one was big.
now we're all here unlearning that behavior. So you don't have to always show your kids or anybody that like you're always okay. I'm so proud of you for just being able to be like, I wasn't okay and I needed to make sure I'm here to take care of my kids. And you matter. I know your brain will tell you that you don't matter, but you matter. And I love you. I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to say that. Sorry.
Thank you. I'm working on unlearning those habits. I know, like you said, like some people, like growing up, you have those habits of like, get over it and fix your face before I fix it for you, and then like, um, with my kids, like my son, I notice he already has like my anxiety and stuff, and so what me and my husband, we do with him is we're breaking the cycle. We're telling him it's okay to have emotions, it's okay to feel things, it's okay to cry, it's okay to be upset. We're not gonna tell him don't be mad or I'm gonna hit you. Like what sense does that ever make growing up where you're just like, if you tell me like you're gonna hit me, or you tell me not to cry, or you're going to hit me, I'm still gonna cry. Like it doesn't like you know what I mean? Like I'm like
Yeah.
We had the slipper.
yeah, oh my, yeah,
Whatever
or that, yeah,
language,
Chocolate.
whatever language you have. with the
exactly.
slipper.
And I'm like, I'm trying to unlearn those habits. So with our kids, we are trying to not necessarily gentle parenting, but like more so along the lines of talking it out with them instead of just immediately like, stop it, you're this, go sit down, don't do that. Like sometimes that does happen. Like you're not human, you're not perfect. It does happen sometimes when you get like overwhelmed, but I'm trying this whole thing, and I'm trying even with my husband, where we just, instead of like doing this, we look at each other, we're like, what do you need, what can I help you with, what is it, what do you need, let me help you, like how are you feeling, what are you feeling right now, like right before stream I was like doing this, and then my husband came over and he's like, let me help you, what do you need, what can I do, and I was like, can you just give the baby her snack and then like, or something like that, you know what I mean, like it's the little things like that. So yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at. I am admitting that I'm going through it very, very heavily, but I am taking those steps and getting back to where I want to be, because I care. I do care about myself and I want to be happy. So I'm taking the steps necessary to, you know, a lot of the time it is also, a lot of the stressors of mental health can be like, financial and like, physical, like chronic illnesses. That is a huge, huge thing when it comes to mental health, because that can really deteriorate your mental health. So if you have like chronic illnesses, and then you have financial stress, and then you have like parental stress or something, or you know what I mean? Like all those things get added up into one big ball. So you know how they say, like, there's a saying that, it takes a village to raise a kid. It takes a village to raise you're like yourself, almost like having a huge support system, not just for your kids, but for yourself. You need one for you as well, and I know sometimes
that's
you don't
a great
have that.
point.
But for me,
You're
streaming
saying like
is
you're breaking a cycle, right? Which is huge. And part of what I think that entails, because that's also, I'm estranged from my entire family because I needed to step away from that in order to do right by my child. But so much of what I think that entails is you have to learn how to reparent yourself, right? Because you cannot rely on the parenting that you got. And so in this process of trying to figure out how to parent your child, you're also trying to figure out, how can I be a mother and a father and an auntie and a grandma to myself, right? Because that village wasn't there for you in the way you needed it to be. And that is why I think like motherhood and parenthood is so challenging for those of us that are in that point where we're trying to do it differently, because we did not have anyone to model. So sometimes I feel like I'm just making it up as I go. I'm like, I don't know. Like this child did not come with a book. And I know I know how I don't want to do it, but how do I want to do it? And so trying to find that space where you can love yourself enough and regulate yourself enough to show up for your child the way you want to be is very hard, Saki. It is so, so, so hard. And the fact that you're doing it and you and your husband are trying and you're showing up, like now I'm getting emotional because I just understand like this is such a challenging thing. And I applaud you so much. I really, really do. And I just send so much love to you because it is such a challenge. Such a challenge.
It definitely is. And then when you like kind of going back to what Blaze said before, like when you have a partner that's also just going through it, like you're both mentally struggling, but you're struggling together. It's like it's very like it's not nice to be in the struggle, obviously, but when you're together, it really it helps,
It
like
helps.
it helps so much. Even like when the world feels like it's falling down on you, just having that person, your person, there to like support you and you support them and you're together. That's it's something that's very I'm getting all shaky. It's
Yeah,
just
no,
something
my
that's yeah.
yeah, my husband and I, we currently have a saying, which is we float together. Because separately we'd be sinking, but as long as you have that person there who can, back you, who even when things are really, really hard for one or both of you, you can come together and realize that, together you are capable of sort of not fixing, obviously, but bridging those gaps. You can support each other in ways that you cannot support yourself. Because even on my toughest days, I can make sure that he's eating, you know? And even on his toughest days, he can make sure that the cats are fed. So, and, like, we don't have the responsibility of children, and we've very much, like, talked about that because sometimes taking care of ourselves is so, so hard that having to do that for somebody else can make you stronger, can be very good for you as a parent. You step up, but just for us and from our personal experience, so far right now, we are only capable of keeping each other afloat, and that is important too. To understand your own limitations, to understand that you have to work together to bring yourselves up, because otherwise, just one person on their own is far more susceptible to sinking.
That's very true. Yeah, I honestly, I'm really grateful, you guys, for all of you, for this space, for this. My community is really small, but I'm very grateful and thankful for it. You have no idea how much this has been its own coping mechanism for me. Like streaming is my happy place. Like this is where I find myself in like my happiest moments, doing charities and hanging out with people I've met online who have become so important to me, who are going to be in my heart forever. Like this has been like, it's just been really wonderful, And I just wanted to say I appreciate everyone so much. Sorry.
We
Ugh.
appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you. I mean,
My
thank you for doing this.
my
You just
God.
talked about what happened recently, and you still showed up for this and made sure we showed up for it. I mean,
Mhm.
that's
That's why it was so important for
incredible.
me because I was like,
Yeah.
you know what, I'm going through it, but this is like the perfect time for it. That sounds crazy, but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
this
no,
is
I'm
it.
even
Like,
Yeah.
more
this is
grateful that we all can make this work. Like, it's weirdly serendipitous. It's a perfect day for it, and I'm glad that like we could show up for you and that we could have this conversation. But again, like I just really appreciate that you prioritize this, right? And like made this happen. It's such a cool event, and I hope that we see more and more of these types of things.
yeah. I mean, originally my plan was to do it in May, Mental Health Awareness Month, but the way it worked out, and it's beautiful. I have a this is a very hard month for me. For those of you that don't know as well, September is when my best friend passed away. Her birthday's in a couple days, and every year what I do is I release a balloon for her, and yeah, so this has been very healing in a way for me. I'm very appreciative. I'm very thankful, and I'm gonna come away from this feeling a little bit lighter. Like it's very meaningful to me. Okay, so before I slip into like full on tears, my very, very, very last question. I'm sorry, I went on such a tangent there. I know I said I would only keep you guys for an hour. I'm so sorry. Um, my last question is where can we find you guys on the interwebs, starting with you, Kylo?
Yeah, so here on Twitch we are just twitch.tv/Bard and Butter. And then we're also on Twitter X at Bard and Butter TV. And then through our Twitch channel, we have links to our TikTok, which are the main places that we kind of show up online. So yeah, that's where you can find us.
Ash?
Hi. Most of my handles are Sincerely Sunshine Cat, but I also do have Sunshine Cat streams. As a secondary one, I believe I'm on nearly all social media platforms, and there's also sincerelysunshinecat.com that I have as well to find me.
Chloe.
That's me. So yeah, on Twitch, I'm unlucky_clovers. You can also find me under Unlucky Clover on YouTube, which I should have some more unique content coming out that isn't just reposted VODs, hopefully shortly, fingers crossed. But I really don't have much of an online presence, honestly. I do a lot of offline work. But for a very, very basic Instagram, you can follow me at Field of Clovers if the video content isn't kicking it for you. That's me.
Please.
Pretty much all across the board. Blasian AC is my like any handle. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, of course Twitch, TikTok. You can just find me anywhere. I'm not usually present on like online stuff, but like if you want to reach out to me, Instagram and sometimes Twitter is the best way.
Okay, lovely. I love that. For me, obviously Twitch. Twitter. My Twitter. My name isn't the same everywhere. I'm so sorry. Like I changed my name on Twitch when I started streaming. You can follow me on Twitter at Sakina Kijibe, which is my original screen name. But yeah, it's kind of. And I have a TikTok, but it's also Sakina Kijibe. But I'm working on using it. I'm working on it. We're getting there. But yeah. So those are my handles and my stuff, and this is my Twitch channel. So yeah, I hope to do more things like this in the future. I just want to say real quick, thank you everyone for joining me. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day, even like spending even like a minute with me, everyone in chat. I appreciate it. Thank you for the donos for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. I have to like space that out when I say it. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I will be saving this VOD. Like I said, this is gonna be like one of the highlights of my streaming career ever. Like, so this is so special to me and so important to me, and I just appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your days for me. Like, what are you guys doing? It's just me. I really appreciate you all. Thank you. You guys have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You as well.
Bye. Thanks for having me and all of us. It's nice to meet you all.
Bye, guys.
You too.
Take care.
Ooh, let's get out of there. Hold on. You guys can still hear me, right? Hello? Hello? Oh, that's my computer screen. Oh, that's not. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I know how to stream. I am a streamer. I do this. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. We're getting there. We're getting there. It's here somewhere. I know it's here somewhere. I'll find it. Don't worry, guys. I'm a streamer. Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to like, hello? Where am I? Hold on. We got this. Okay, maybe we don't got this? I'm like attempting to change it. Yeah, I'm in OBS. Like I'm trying to change it back. Maybe I need to like close it and then do it again. Maybe. Hello? Hello, camera? Hello? No, not that. Oh, hey, yay, I found myself. Hi, guys. I did it. I fully closed Discord. I did it. Woo, look at me go. Wow. Wait, wrong screen. Hello. There we go. Hello. Thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for, supporting this. It was very important, very special. It was very close to my heart, and yay, I'm clearer now. I'm wearing my Gotel shirt, by the way. Thank you to Adam for providing me this lovely boba midstream. W husband. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you again, I guess. I don't know. I'm very, I'm like I'm elated right now, kind of, in a way, because I'm just feeling very, when you just feel it in here, you just, I'm like smiling, but like I'm cheesing so hard. It's like, You guys are all very, very kind, and I'm so grateful for this community and everyone I've met and the friends I've made. You guys are gonna be with me forever. Seriously, I'm very like emotional that way. Like I sometimes care very deeply, very quickly. So, but this is so special to me. Yeah. So, with that, before I end up, I'm probably, knowing me, I'm going to full on tears as soon as I turn off this camera. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I don't know how many times I can say thank you. Did I shout them all out already? Did I? Yes, everyone that was here today. Kylo from Bard and Butter, Sincerely Sunshine Cat from Sincerely Sunshine Cat, Blasian AC from Blasian AC, Unlucky Clover from Unlucky Clover. Please give them all follows here on Twitch. They are amazing. They are incredible. This is my first time doing anything like this. I've only been streaming for like a year, you guys, and this is my first time putting something together like this. I didn't think I could do it, but I was just so pumped up, and I felt like it needed to be talked about, you know? So thank you, everyone, all those wonderful, amazing people. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everything. Just thank you. I'm so excited. I don't know what I'm excited about. I'm just very, like, my anxiety has turned to like excitement. So thank you guys so much. Yeah, I'm just trying to like think. I'm trying to think. Where's my head at? Is there anyone that you guys have suggestions that we can send the love over to who may also be raising money for the AFSP? American Foundation? Yeah, I said it right. Do you guys have any suggestions, or are there any suggestions of games you guys want to go to? Maybe Animal Crossing, something cozy to relax a little bit. Anything anyone have in mind? Thank you guys all for the donos too. Like, oh my gosh. And thank you for all the boba buddies. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. If I don't know, I might stream tomorrow, depending on how things go. But yeah. Let me see. Do we have any suggestions? Who might be raising? Oh, let's see. Who is the, you said the, okay, let me Twitch them real quick. Oh, also doing charity? We love to see it. Let's see, search. Oh my god, and they're playing Dead by Daylight. Sorry, that I don't care what anybody says. Dead by Daylight is my comfort game. That's something I forgot to mention. That is one of my coping mechanisms. I play Dead by Daylight religiously. I have a stupid amount of hours in that game. It is cozy. I don't care what anyone says. Thank you guys so much. So much. So we are going to be rating out to the lovely I hope I said their name right. Cloaca TV. This is for subs, and this is for everyone. I think I did that right. I did it right. Yes. Okay. So let me just figure out where the raid button is. Help. Also, thank you guys for helping me hit my follower goal. I appreciate you guys. Oh my god. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be one of those cry after streams. Did I type it? Did I do it right? I did it. Okay, all right. Everyone, go send some boba love to this lovely creator. Go say hello. I appreciate everyone for being here. You guys are all amazing. I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Maybe we'll play some Baldur's Gate because I love that game and I just want to play it. I just want a game, guys. Thank you guys all for being here. Love you so much. Please join the raid. See you guys later. Bye.